everything was cool. But I understand what BJ's doing, and I understand. Can you talk about, is there still some bad blood there and maybe some vindication required?
Yeah, no bad blood, just vindication. You know, if that makes sense, if that's not an oxymoron. But yeah, I see Faraz, everything's fine. I got a lot of respect for Faraz. He's doing well. He has a lot of great fighters, and Faraz is smart enough to know him. Everybody, you ask Faraz, everybody was gonna say BJ's got nothing to gain, and Faraz will look at you and say BJ's got a lot to gain from this. BJ has everything to gain, and that's what people aren't looking at. They're not looking at the inside. I've always marched to the beat of a different drummer, and different things make me tick, and this is one thing that I want to do.
How much of your motivation to come back was because Roy was calling you out, or were you sitting around thinking, I need to get back in, I hope somebody's looking for me, or was it just because when he challenged you, you said, oh, okay, let's do this? Well,
I started to get stronger. I started to feel my body start feeling better, and not that constant tiredness all the time, and yeah, the whole thing got put together and this and that, and I was like, let's do it now, let's do it, let's go. I got one more in me, let's do it.
BJ, what do you think of the logjam that's at 170 as far as the title picture, where, of course, George has been injured and then Condit is not defending his interim title? Just kind of give me your thoughts on where the title is with 170 right now.
I really don't care too much about it being jammed up. I think that's crazy that Condit's not going to defend the title. That's what the interim title's for. But I don't mind where it is. I think the fans, more as the sport moves forward, we're going to start, everything's going to unfold, and the people are going to just start buying the fights they want to buy. So, it doesn't matter who has the title. I mean, if you got the title from some by not really fighting and running around the ring and doing a bunch of things, I think the fans are eventually going to say, I don't want to watch you fight Carlos Condit. I'd rather watch you, Nick Diaz. You tried. You know what I mean? That type of thing. And I think as time goes on, it's going to be like anything else. The most popular fighter and the fighter that fights the hardest is going to get the most benefits, whether he's the champion or not. I believe that over time because of the scoring. All you have to do is eke out 2 rounds. I really wish that they would do whoever wins the biggest round. If you come out and win the biggest round in the first round, and the guy can't, just like surfing, whoever gets the best wave, and the guy can't, measure up to your round. He might get 2 10-9s, but you got, you knocked him down a few times or whatever in the first round. He has to be able, if you want action, he has to be able to beat the round that you just did before that. Whoever has the best round, I think that would really help the scoring a lot. Go ahead.
BJ, how many more fights do you feel you have left in you? And you don't have to call anyone out, but is there an opponent that you would like to get in the octagon one more time before you hang up the gloves?
Honestly, I don't. My guess is as good as yours. I don't know if I have 1 left or 20 left.
Go with 20.
But no opponent right now. I don't know. Me and my team, we sit there and talk, and we're like, let's go on a 10-fight undefeated streak, or this and that, and we throw different ideas around with each other. But everything's up in the air.
BJ, you talked earlier about staying hungry and pushing forward to get motivated for a fight. When you were younger, you coming up, going after James Pulver and that sort of thing, it was easy to stay motivated. Right now, you've got Rory, who is kind of where you were there. He's pushing. He's a young lion, and really he's looking to try to make a name for himself by using you. Being proverbially on the ropes that way, does that motivate you? That kind of puts you back in that earlier stage where somebody's saying they're going to vanquish you, maybe in sorts, and that gets you kind of fired up and the blood boiling?
Oh, without a doubt. He's gonna find out quick. It's not just a stepping stone kind of fight, and maybe it'll be, and it's probably going to be such a bad fight that it's going to throw his career off track for the rest of his career. I really see that happening.
A lot of fans and even media, when they heard you were coming back, they were kind of disappointed to hear you weren't coming back at lightweight. They felt like that's the right division for you. That's when you're best. Why do you think 170 is the right division? For those people that say you're better at 155, how do you address them?
Honestly, you know what it is? It's because of my appetite. that, and by the way, you can tell the strength of a man by the size of his appetite, okay? It's, I'm down at 55, and I mean, just look at my arms, look at my shoulders, it's just so weak, and it's just so thin. What I gotta do is I gotta buckle down, and I gotta get to 175 at 5% body fat, and that's what I gotta do, and that's what I haven't been doing all this time. And I'm gonna make an honest effort to really put on some lean muscle and really come in there as a welterweight that's not gonna get thrown around. It's not just gonna beat you because he's more technical, but he's just as athletic as you are, and he's 10 times more technical than you are. And that's what I'm gonna try to make a real push on this one. That's exactly what I want to be. I want to be 175 pounds, ripped, solid, and ready to go.
Folks, we got about 10 minutes left, okay?
BJ, what will you be doing the actual training at? Will you be at the home training in Hilo, your new UFC BJ Penn gym on Oahu, or you want to go to the Rupa gym on Academy?
We've thrown around the ideas. My coaches are all, some of them want us to stay in Hilo, some want us in Honolulu, some want us in California. So we're actually all just trying to put that together right now. I'm sure a big chunk of it will be done in Hawaii until I get in tremendous condition, and then from there I will have to probably, I'm going to have to do, maybe I might have to do something in California. We've talked about going to some different camps in California, maybe American Kickboxing Academy, or just certain things to get me prepared for a wrestling type base that's coming at me. But it's tough to say. We're sitting here pondering the same question. Should I stay in Hilo and then fly 10 hours and get a 6-hour time difference, or should I go to California for 2-3 weeks and then fly to Toronto, so it's not a big time change for us? So those are all things we're trying to work out right now.
Vijay, you said you want to fight in South America. We are from Argentina. Why you say that? Because of the fans? I don't know. Why you say that?
Well, at first I said that because I want to fight on all the continents, because I fought in Australia, North America, Europe, Asia, what else? I forget. How many continents are there? 5?
Yep.
7? Okay, a couple more.
Antarctica's going to be tough.
But yeah, I wanted to try to fight on all the continents, but yeah, without a doubt, I definitely. How is the mixed martial arts scene in Argentina? Is it growing very big?
You are the best fighter in Argentina.
Oh yeah.
Fans loves you. Yeah.
Oh well, then I guess I gotta fight them next.
If you fight in Brazil, you may come to Buenos Aires to meet our community. You're the best fighter for
well, tell
MMA junkies. Yeah.
Tell them thank you very much.
Okay.
Like GSP, McDonald is known for being the athlete, spring athlete, physical, Can you throw out a few names of guys you're thinking of specifically getting the training with and working with to kind of mimic that and help you get prepared for that?
I don't have those exact guys right now yet, but that's why we were talking about, American Kickboxing Academy. I've been talking to, all the guys. We all talk together. The Jake Ellenbergers, the different people out there to, Matt Hughes, Jake Ellenberger, just different people to give me that look, give me that body type, and try to come after me with something that he would be doing. So we got a lot of people to choose from, but we haven't made any decisions yet.
Hey BJ, we know it's not a continent, but what about a fight in Hawaii? And again, you headlining either Neil Blaisdell Center, Stan Sheriff Center, or heck, Aloha Stadium.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on, again, fighting? And again, having that hometown advantage for once.
I probably wouldn't do it at a Neil Blaisdell. I probably would want to do it at Aloha Stadium or something like that. Probably not at a Neil Blaisdell Center or a Sheriff. I think it's too small with the way how big the sport is in Hawaii right now. And yeah, that would. I was trying to get them to do that for this fight. I was saying, why don't you put something together? I was like, Aloha Stadium on Fox. What's bigger than that? I don't know.
Hey, BJ, now that Chuck, now Tito's going to be in the Hall of Fame, all the Trailblazers, obviously everybody believes that you're going to be going in at some point. Is that something you look forward to, the prospect of going into the UFC Hall of Fame? And talk about the pressure that maybe Tito has going in, on the same day that he's going to have a huge fight in the co-main event.
That's kind of amazing that whole thing is kind of wrapped together in one weekend for Tito. I think you know that is. I was thinking about that actually, like, how's that? The same day he gets the Hall of Fame, and then he's got to go into the fight, and this and that. Is that going to give his opponent more motivation to attack him? You know, but I'm very excited to be in the UFC Hall of Fame. I remember after I fought Matt Hughes the third time, and Dana texted me, and he's like, "Oh, what a great fight, good for you," and this and that, and I was like, "So what, Dana? Are we going to the Hall of Fame or what?" He's like, "You know it." So we'll see how everything plays out.
What do you think the criteria should be for a fighter to be inducted into the Hall of Fame?
I think that's a good question, because you have some fighters that fight so well, but they never end up getting a title. But they fight so well, and they're the fan favorite, and you know, and they're everything that the epitome of what mixed martial arts is about and means. I mean, how could you not put them in the Hall of Fame also? So I think you're just gonna have to look at every situation and look at exactly what the person did, whether they've been a champion or not, and make a decision from there.
Can you give some comments on Tito Ortiz and your take sort of on his place and going into the UFC Hall of Fame and you know, what he's meant to the sport?
I got a special place in my heart for Tito Ortiz, because when I was just a preliminary fighter, he was the main event fighter. If it wasn't for him, we wouldn't have been fighting. You know, he kind of kept the sport just afloat, you know, for his few years, and I think he's got to be one of the top 5 biggest UFC set draws or fighters or whatever. So, you know, it's just it's good. Him going to the Hall of Fame is only fitting.
You mentioned potentially going from Hilo to Cali, then to Toronto. Thinking of maybe adding Toronto, be getting up there maybe a week or 2 earlier?
Probably a week. If sometimes when I go to the fight place too long, 2 weeks or this and that, I just get too homesick, and I'm like, let's get out of here already. Let's just get this over with. So I don't want to be in that mentality.
Got time for 2 more, guys. Nothing?
Go ahead.
Yes, sir. Well, go ahead.
Yeah, BJ, at either of your gyms, can you tell us about any of the coaches or fighters that we should look out for? Like who's coming up, like when the chest scrap started?
Well, actually, they're just starting everybody from scratch at the UFC gym, but they do have a lot of good trainers. A lot of the good grapplers from the island are teaching there, and I think they're going to have a lot of success in the future. And I'm excited. They say the gym is doing so well that they're talking about opening one in Kapolei or whatever. So it's just amazing, man. I just try to go along for the ride. Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you, guys. Thank you very much.
Appreciate it.